YouTube. So we've just left the Pukerua Bay shops and we're doing a car rally. We'd stop at the shops, we'd find out how many different flavours of ice cream they sold and how much it was for a single scoop. So we worked that out and it was 10 different flavours and $4.50 for a single scoop. And now we're heading down, so we're still in Pukerua Bay, but I thought I'd like to record this bit of road for you that we're heading to. Now this section of road, unbelievably, until very, very recently, was actually part of State Highway 1, which is the main motorway in New Zealand that goes the whole length of New Zealand, apart from across the Cook Strait, where you have to hop on the ferry, of course. And so they, probably in the last, 2 years, they opened a big 4-lane section of motorway, which is to our right up on the hills a bit, but until 2 years ago, this was part of State Highway 1 here. A bit hard to believe that now. This is like the main highway of New Zealand that we're on. Obviously the condition of the road is not as good now, because now that it's not State Highway 1, they don't spend quite so much money on upkeep for it. But you can see why I wanted to record this. Just the view there is just incredible, and I hope you can see it all. And with that, we're down to 30. It's okay, we should slow to 30. Yes, you can see the view out there. And the next question on the rally, because with the rally, it's not the fastest time that wins, so you don't get points for actually doing it in the shortest amount of time, but there's lots of photos you have to get of various different things along the way. There's also questions you have to answer along the way, and it's whoever gets the most photos and the most questions right that wins. Plus there's a couple of trick things that people don't know they're getting points for. So, and I can mention this now because this one's already passed, so this is an example. And one of the things you asked to take a photo of, you asked to make sure your roof was down, your windows were rolled down, hang your elbows out the window and take a selfie of the two of you in the car, just cruising along the waterfront like that. And what people don't know, but they'll find out at the finish line when it's all marked, is you get 1 point for the photo, and because it deliberately said hanging your elbows out the door, you'll get 1 point for each elbow that is visible in the photo hanging out the door. So if I see 2 elbows hanging out the door, you'll get 3 points for that photo. If I see 1 elbow in the photo, that's 2 points. Just a photo with no elbows, you only get 1 point for it. So a few things like that I've marked differently but haven't told people, just to see if they can work it out for themselves. Sort of thing. If they follow the instructions to the letter, they'll work it out. And along here a bit further, there's a restaurant at the other end of this waterfront road here, and that's where we're headed next. And when we get there, I think there's 2 things we have to do there from memory. One of them is you have to say what the little blue-eyed penguin breeding season is. Now there's 2 ways we can work that out. We can either find a sign that tells us, or we can find a little blue-eyed penguin and ask it when its breeding season is. But either way, we're going to have to find out the answer to that question. So we're just... I'm actually very, very fortunate. I didn't think I was going to be able to make this video today because the weather forecast was saying it was going to rain today, and we did have 1 patch of rain where we'd stop and put the roof up for probably about 15-20 minutes, and then we got to put the roof back down again. So that's good. But yeah, this view along here, I just really, really wanted to share that with all of you. It's absolutely glorious. Although that sea is still looking pretty rough today, so... Yeah. Now to the right of us, you can also see the railway line. That's part of the main trunk line heading north. So that railway line would take us all the way to Auckland, I believe, if we wanted to go there. We're not going to Auckland by train today. As I said, one only means 5 rally. Now there's only 6 cars in the rally today, so because the weather was so awful yesterday, there were roads closed with flooding and things. I think a lot of people assumed that today's rally would be cancelled. So we've only had 6 cars turn up, but that's okay, we're still having a ball. And in a minute we're getting to this restaurant where we need to pull in, and we need to find out the breeding season of the little blue-eyed penguin. So hopefully there's a penguin around that we can ask. We're failing that aside, that will tell us. We can always resort to Google if we have to, but the rally has been designed so you don't have to Google anything in theory. Everything you can find out the answers without using Google. This is the restaurant that we're wanting. So we're going to pull in here and just find a car park. There you go. I'll grab my phone if you want. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'll look for the little blue-eyed penguin that we can ask when the breeding season is. You look for a sign that might tell us. And if you read the sheet, you might get an idea of it. Good look. Oh.
Alright, off to the beach access point.
Okay, so we're off to the beach access point. Ooh. Now this is the west coast of the North Island that we're on at the moment, and the Pacific Ocean, of course. Having said that, New Zealand is so small that even if we were on the east coast, it would still be the Pacific Ocean that we're looking at. So it's Pacific on both sides of us. But here is the beach access point. So, wandering down here and looking for little blue-eyed penguins. Yeah, that sea's definitely looking quite rough. When I was out here a couple of weeks ago, there was a decent-sized beach at the bottom of these stairs, and I suspect there isn't. No, look at that. There's absolutely no beach there today. So we won't be standing on the beach taking any photos, but there was a good, 4 metres of beach there when we were out here a couple of weeks ago. Okay, well, I shall say goodbye to you now, and let that be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.